Hey, welcome to Metal Master Fab Shop. I'm going to be your host with the most, Matt. Yeah, that's not me. Alright, so if you're new here, we're going to be working on my 1987 dually crew cab Chevy behind me here. And as some of you have seen the old videos, we rescued this thing, kind of drug it out of a little area where it had been sitting for a couple years, so all the videos will be down below if you want to get caught up on that. But today we are going to be getting straight into it. I've got a carburetor over here, fuel line, all that stuff. Putting it back on here because I had a borrowed carburetor, long story short. But anyway, getting a carburetor put on this is going to be the main objective. And then, at the end of the video, my main goal is I want to drive this exact truck right here back to the same spot where we found it, where it had been sitting for a couple years. So I think that'll be kind of cool seeing the two transition. So let's get right over here and see this carburetor. So what we have is a Holley 750. It's a remanufactured Holley. I got it with another truck that I bought, but I was waiting on this fuel line because this carburetor doesn't actually have the metering block in it back here. Like most carburetors will have a secondary metering block here, I guess, and the one that I found at my local O'Reilly's was longer, so I ordered this one, so hopefully this will work out. Alright, our gasket and everything still looks pretty good from our old carb. And it appears our gas line is hitting right now on our intake. Alrighty, so I took this over to the bench vise and just kind of gave these a little bit of a upsweep, so this sits in the carburetor like that. So what was happening is this piece right here was landing on our intake belt down there, so I just kind of gave that a sweep up so it'll get a good bit of clearance in here. So I've kind of been just mocking it up. I think it's going to go pretty good now though. Alright, need to get our gas line hooked up now, and then we can start turning this thing over and see if we can get some fuel in this thing and see how it goes. It's kind of like I was showing you, it's kind of like a new old stock carburetor, so it has set for a couple years, so I don't know. Gaskets could be bad on this thing, but hopefully not. I've dealt with enough crap on this truck already. Alrighty, I'm going to hook this battery up and we'll see what we got. Check for leaks and see if we need to fine tune on this thing at all. Put a little gas down it. Alright, see if we can't kick her off now. So there was absolutely no adjustments on that carburetor whatsoever. It runs pretty good. It's got a little stumble off idle, which I can play around with. I'm not too concerned with that at the moment, but it didn't leak anywhere, so that's pretty solid. Yeah, I was really wanting to drive this thing tomorrow to work. Need to get that choke idled up. It's electric choke, so I need to wire that. That's why I was having to hold that back, because it was not opening on its own whenever it was wanting to. So yeah, I need to get that wired up. Good morning. It is a day or so later. And I didn't end up driving the truck to work. I don't know, just didn't. But I dropped a battery off the other day, and I'm gonna go pick that up right now. So we're gonna take the 64, we, meaning me and Layla. So come along with us, go get a battery. And then today, my wife is actually driving the dually up to a little local car show. And then I've talked to Jay, so hopefully Sunday, we're gonna get that thing back down there to where we pulled it out of, get a cool little, like, kind of walk around where it sets for 2+ years. So enough rambling, let's go. So the old dually is pretty cold natured right now because, like I was saying, I don't have that choke hooked up just out of pure laziness. So I'm just gonna let this thing sit up and warm up so we don't have any issues. Then I'll kind of get around here, play with some idle screws and stuff like that, because like I said, my wife's gonna be driving this. That's the last thing I want her to have to do is sit there, play around with throttle while she's trying to get this thing back out of here. So let her warm up real good, and then we'll see what we got. Alright, so we made it up here with both trucks. Hillary ended up driving it, so that was pretty cool. And the exact reason why I bought this truck right there, Nolly's in the back seat, so that's pretty awesome. What'd y'all think about it?
It's pretty sweet. No, bag like it. Wait, sweetheart, we have got to put shoes on.
Hey, you're on camera, you better put some shoes on.
Sneak attack.
So we had a good time at the car show yesterday, but one thing, when this thing idles, it doesn't have a fan shroud or nothing on it, and this old radiator that I originally put on this thing, it kind of leaks around and does some stuff, so I had plans to switch it anyway, and I acquired this radiator whenever I purchased my 67 and 66. David, the guy that I bought those from, he actually had these. It's actually a legit Squarebody radiator So got that and an actual fan strap for a Squarebody that'll bolt right in. So that's gonna be my game plan today, because later on today I want to get down and, like I was saying, drive this thing down to where I picked it up. I think that'll be just super cool, just a before and after picture. So pop this radiator out real quick, and that's what's gonna go down. All right, got the radiator draining. Let that drain for a little bit, then we'll get our upper radiator hose disconnected and also our lower. And this heater hose over here, the way that little nipple came out of the radiator itself, it was kind of like bent up and stuff, so it's not really getting a good seal, so we're getting a leak right there. So that's going to be another thing that I want to get rid of, and our other radiator doesn't have that. So I'm going to take that off, and it's going to go down here to this port on our water pump like a normal heater core would anyway. So that's the game plan on that. Alrighty, so I've got this thing filled up with water. No leaks that I can see as of right now, so we're going to fire this thing up real quick. And it's probably going to need some more water once that thermostat opens up, so I'm going to drive it up to the house, fill it up. Just filling it with water, that's what I did before. I just want to make sure no leaks are happening before we put antifreeze in it, because it's the last thing I want to do is have antifreeze dripping everywhere. So putting water in it first, then we'll go with some antifreeze. So see if we can get this thing fire up. So we're moving down the road, just filled up some gas. The truck's running a little hot and it doesn't have a lot of power. I should have probably put a timing light on this thing, but it's just one of those things I didn't do. So we're gonna make it down here or we won't, one of the two. So here we go. Alrighty, so that's gonna wrap another one up. Hopefully this gives you some motivation. Get out, get your own project, get it running, driving. It's not that hard. I think anybody can do it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. God, about stepped on dog poop.